Hey guys, it's just Shaker Roots, and behind me is a beautiful 2004 Chevy Tahoe LT. Now you wonder yourself, Jake, why the heck are you reviewing an old Tahoe? Well, that's because this is one of the best Tahoes ever made. I'm not kidding. This is one of the ones you can take off-roading and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Now the new ones you can probably do that too, but generally the people who buy them aren't going to do that. Why? Because they're too afraid to get dirty. You ain't gotta get afraid to get this thing dirty. I mean, look how beautiful it is. It doesn't have those fancy LED headlights, no fancy technology that's gonna break in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Alright, let's talk about the history of this beautiful machine. Back in the 1990s, around the 1995, Chevy was like, you know what? Here's what the market needs. A new SUV by us, Chevy. And we can just step forward to like, here you go, Ford. Here's our answer to the Explorer. Match up here, which one was first. So we're like, what are we gonna call this thing? Well, then they went to all the way to the beautiful Lake Tahoe and named it after the beautiful scenery. And the Yukon, which is the GMC version, was named after a territory up in Canada. Don't know why. But this is the beautiful Tahoe we're talking about. This thing has a 5.3 liter V8, making around 300, almost 300 horsepower, which is pretty good for the time. Now, enough of me chit-chatting. Let's go walk around this thing. Alright guys, let's talk about this beautiful thing. Check out these beautiful headlights. Now you may be saying, Jake, those are so old. The new ones are way better. Well, obviously, but look how beautiful this thing looks for the time. So nice and chrome. Love the chrome. Love that Chevy badge. It's a really good look for the time, man. I mean, we had Ford making, well, the Explorer, which it was good, but this thing was distinctive. Every time you see it in the road, it just put a smile on your face. I mean, look at this. Love the Chevy badge. If it doesn't have this badge, it is not a Chevy. Beautiful wheels. Now I like these wheels much better than the Suburban wheels that you get. Now you may say, oh, those Suburbans much better, but I like these wheels. Love the styling of this thing. Very rugged feel, not too overpowering, not too fancy, not something you're gonna afraid it's gonna break in 2 seconds. Yeah, like the styling in the back. Now you're ready if I pop. All right, see what space you get. Look how much space you get. Now, you remember me looking at the Yukon, you had barely, well, nothing. You barely had any space. Look how much space you have in this beautiful Tahoe. Tiny space. I can go camping in this. This guy uses it for hunting. So, yes. Close that back. All right, let's jump in this baby. All right. All right. All right, to start, like a lot of Chevys of this era, put the key in. All right, we're good. Guys, here's the wonderful owner. All right, Hayden, what's so special about this wonderful machine?
I don't know if there's any one particular special thing about it, but I'll tell you what, she'll give it all she's got. You know, I can take it, you know, road tripping up and down the highways, or I can take it, you know, through the backwoods of the hunting property, and never had a lick of a problem out of her.
I like how it's this old styling of thing. It's very, obviously this is the 2004, but I like the old styling.
Yeah, it's super easy and economical, man. I mean, the way, like, if you had to work on this, it comes right apart. Oh, yeah. And then, especially with the design of the dash, you know, Chevy has kept that, like, all the way through the newer models, where it's got that angle to it.
Yeah, I like that.
And you don't notice it unless you're in the passenger seat, but as a driver, it's super comfortable, super just right there at your fingertips. It really allows you to just really, like, stay focused on your driving and not worried about what's going on.
Oh yeah. All right, let's take this thing out for a spin. All right. Be very careful with this thing.
I don't know if you noticed, it's got the tilt down mirrors.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, and it has a little side thing. Did you add that, or did that come like that?
No, that's factory.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
So, I've got the tilt mirrors because it's such a big car.
Oh, yeah.
That when I'm backing up into parking spots, the way I have my mirror set is I can't see the lines on the ground.
Oh yeah.
And so when you have that tilt mirror on the right side, when you back in, you're able to see the lines on the parking spots.
All right. Oh wow. 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 This is unique. Whoa, this thing feels big. I didn't realize how big this thing was. I've driven many SUVs before, but this thing feels like a giant compared to the others.
Oh, dude, I love it. The bigger the car, the happier I am. I can't stand small cars.
Oh yeah, I like my baby, but I like big things because it makes me feel like in the real.
Oh,
When I was driving the big Avalanche a few months ago, I felt like a king. Man, this is so nice. Get a little bit there. Oh wow! 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 That is not laggy at all. That is way different from that 5.7 Chevy review. If you guys remember the Avalanche, I liked it, but it was so laggy. This thing is almost instant. It's better than my car. Wow. Wow. That's, Jesus, that thing you can really take off. Wow. Oh, wow, that thing takes off. This thing is really fast.
It's nice. It handles well.
Now, this thing has two-wheel drive. Can this thing handle off-road just fine without a 4x4?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
I put ATs on it.
Oh,
and,
wow.
So it's not going to be your truck that's going to go ripping through the mud.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're smart with how you drive and you're smart with where you're going, with the right tires and, you know, using the right throttle, it'll take you anywhere you need to go.
I think that's the way this thing feels. It doesn't feel like a big clunky. It feels very stable and feel like you can go anywhere.
A lot of that has to do with the steering. It's real light in the steering wheel.
Oh yeah, I love that.
You'll notice a lot of times with the older cars how tight the steering wheels.
Oh yeah, they're annoying.
Yeah.
I want to say this old Lotus I reviewed. I love that car to death. That car will one day be my baby, but the steering was so stiff. It was. But that's because that was a very fast car, so it kind of had to be that way.
Yeah.
This car, this vehicle, you don't want that. You want it very easy to get around. That way you can go off rocks and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
What I love about this thing is you can do. You're not afraid to do modifications to it, and it's so easy to do.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely super easy.
And the new ones are so annoying, difficult to do. You won't believe how picky Chevy is. You know that warranty? If you do anything to anything, you void the warranty.
Yeah, unless they do it from the factory. Unless Chevy does it at dealership.
Yeah.
So no, I love this truck. It's got a lot of different little options that I've come to like.
Oh yeah. Now people say the new one's good too, but I'm afraid to take that thing off road. You know what I mean?
Really?
I love the look of it, but it's just I'm afraid it will get too bunged up and too scratched. It looks like a very pristine luxury SUV. Whereas this thing, I'm afraid I don't care where I take this. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of like the same for new and old. If I buy a new truck, I'm gonna treat it just like I would this one.
Oh wow.
So like, if I bought a brand new truck, I take it out to the hunting property and sling mud on it and take it through the woods.
Oh yeah, that's what it's made for.
That's what I need to use it for. And so I'm not a pavement princess kind of.
Oh yeah, I don't like doing that either. And what I'm saying, I wouldn't take the owner's cars off road like that, like brand new.
Yeah.
But if they do, that's fine. But most people don't want to take the new expensive stuff. I'm like, why? It can do it.
Yeah.
Like people who will jack up their trucks and buy Raptors and all those crazy stuff, they don't use them at all.
They're a pavement princess. Yeah. They don't ever get off the asphalt.
You paid 80, 90 grand for a vehicle to do all this, and you don't buy it for that.
Yeah.
I reviewed a Chevy, not Chevy, Jeep Rubicon, and I love the vehicle, but I made sure to tell everyone, like, yo, don't buy this if you're not going to be going off-road. Jeep is a good vehicle, even if you're not going off-road. It's just a fun car to feel. Yeah. It's your name. But if you're not going off-road, don't buy the Rubicon. Yeah. The Rubicon, that thing is made to go off-road. Do not buy the Rubicon if you're not going to go off-road at all.
I do like how Jeep is very universal in the aspect of modifications in the parts.
Oh yeah.
There's so much. It's like a Lego. It's a real size Lego, basically.
Oh yeah. I just the way this thing feels. Even though it's ginormous, you can drive it like it's a little car.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
My car is easy to drive. That's because it's a little car. This thing is ginormous, but it makes it very easy. And I love those tilt mirrors. Those things are very easy to see. Now, this thing doesn't have any kind of backup camera or any kind of thing because, well, Chevy didn't know what a screen was back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Now, is that like an option you added yourself, or is that came like that?
No, it came like that.
Wow. Chevy knew what they were doing.
Yeah, it came with a lot. It's this was kind of like, of the time, this was kind of like the top of the line package that they had to offer. Aside from it not having 4-wheel drive.
Oh yeah.
That was the only thing that, like, if I were to get the package of the package,
Yeah.
the biggest one, the best one would have 4-wheel drive.
Oh yeah.
And this is the one that just doesn't have that. And so,
Well, actually, you're missing one thing. Z71.
well, that's what they would come with the 4-wheel drive package. That was the one that you could get, was the Z71, and that's where 4-wheel drive came from.
Now, does that just mean 4-wheel drive, or does that mean sport and a bunch of other things like the Raptor does, or?
No, so during the time period that this truck was made, the Z71, if I'm not mistaken, that was the title for their off-road package.
Wow. So we didn't do any sport or anything. It was just 4x4.
Right.
Wow.
It was it was Z71. That's how they listed it.
Wow. I like the way this thing feels. This thing feels way better than the Avalanche, which I love the way that thing drives. If you ever drive one, I highly recommend. But I like this thing better because it's easy to drive, but it still feels like a big vehicle. You still feel like a king.
Yeah.
The Avalanche, I felt like I was driving a Cadillac. I like that, but when I'm driving a truck, a big vehicle, I want to feel like I'm driving a truck. I don't want to feel like I'm driving a Cadillac.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because then you're afraid to take it. Then you're like, I don't want to take it off road. You are a Cadillac. You don't deserve to go off road. You are pursuing. This is not pursuing. You take this thing off road and bunch of roses, and you go off and then with your friends and you shoot some deer, and then you take it back in your own bed and all that thing. And you have like, hey, look, Mama, look what I brought dinner. Something like that. Just have a good day. That's what I like about this thing. Now, do you have any other Chevys that you had in the past that you enjoyed as well?
No, this would be the only Chevy that I personally bought and owned, and I love them.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big bow tie or no tie kind of guy.
Oh yeah. Hey, do you like? So if you're a big Chevy fan, I'm guessing you're an anti-Ford fan all the way.
I wouldn't say I'm anti-Ford. I'm anti-Dodge. I don't like anything made by Chrysler.
That makes sense.
I've worked in the industry, the car industry, and I've worked in a machine shop, and I think Chrysler just doesn't make a solid product in comparison to Ford and Chevrolet. Oh
yeah, they have a lot of problems, especially back in the day. They were so annoying problems. I love people. My fans know that I love Hemis because this is the way they fit sound. But I don't know if I want to own one just because it's gonna have so many problems.
Yeah, it's a tough decision.
Now the 2005 Ram Dakota V8 I reviewed before, I would love to have one of those things. Mainly because it's a little truck with a V8. Where can you get that?
Yeah. So, I actually am a fan of Ford's product, and so especially when they launched their EcoBoost.
Oh yeah.
That really kind of like shifted the tide for me of not liking Ford to liking Ford.
Oh yeah. Why is that?
I have seen those engines been put through the test. We have them as service trucks at our office.
Oh wow.
And so we have trucks that are reaching 400,000 miles that are 2014s.
You're kidding?
No. And so it's just kind of like, wow, like that's a quality product for, you know, modern standards to be lasting as long as they are.
That's crazy.
Especially it not being a diesel.
Or V8.
Right, exactly. And it still has, you know, and we got guys that are still pulling trailers and still putting weight behind them, and
oh wow,
and having no problems out of the transmission or the engine, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah. Now I still prefer a V8 because I like V8s. Now, if do you still like the V8 over the EcoBoost, or would you get the EcoBoost over it?
If I were to buy Ford, I'd buy the EcoBoost.
Oh really?
Just because of the what I've seen those engines been put through on a day-to-day basis. With experience of guys that own them, guys that drive them, you know, 100,000 miles a year.
Oh wow.
And then, you know, but if I were to go for a Chevy,
oh yeah,
I probably would end up buying a V8 Chevy.
Alright, because V8s are so much better than the V6.
Oh yeah, the Chevy has outdone themselves with, in my opinion, mastering the V8.
Oh yeah, V8, especially when you have Corvettes that make like 900 horsepower.
The LS blocks.
Oh yeah. And of course the LS1, that is one of the famous engines you can put in almost everything.
Yeah, I mean they've absolutely outdone themselves creating the LS block.
And they've made so much money from it because everyone's using that engine.
Oh, absolutely. I mean it's the most common engine aside from the Chevy 350.
Yeah, and
or the Ford 351.
Oh yeah.
They're putting the LS blocks into almost every street mod.
Such a good engine.
It's just like everybody I know that's building a hot rod is like, oh, I'm putting LS3 in it, or I'm putting an LS9 in it, or
something like this.
I want to drop an LS1 in it, and it's just like you don't hear like, oh, I'm gonna go throw a
Oh yeah, and that's importers. We use an engine called a 2JZ.
Yep.
That's the importer. It's just amazing. I don't think Chevy realized when they created the engine that it was going to be used that much for everything.
No, I don't think they did.
Because same thing with Toyota. I'm going to go a little bit of history about Toyota, so if you want to skip through it, go right ahead. I don't care. The Toyota with the 2JZ, that engine, when they made it so strong that it can handle over 1,000 horsepower. They had no idea what they would. They were so worried that it was going to break, so they made it very They over production in it, and that resulted making an engine that can handle not only over 1,000 horsepower, but it'll be in almost anything. It's crazy what I think they can.
It's absolutely phenomenal to see what they've done with that engine. I got to work for a machine shop for a while, and I got to see a lot of different style engines and what were the popular ones people used, and the 2JZ is really big in the import world. I can see why it's got a lot of capabilities with putting out high horsepower and high torque.
And I love this engine. This thing is such a wonderful beast to drive around. I like how it's not too quiet, but every now and then she gives her a little bit of personality. I love that. I love what cars do with that. A lot of cars nowadays, they're getting too quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They barely make any noise. Now, if you're a big old man, you probably don't want noise at all. Well, if you're an old man, get yourself a Cadillac. That's what I'm saying. If you're an old man, get a Cadillac, because it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And of course, they make a couple that are ridiculously fast, but that's because they have an LS1 engine in it.
Yeah. No, I like to have a truck that's got a little bit of you can hear its personality.
The new one I've sat in the new Denali, and I've sat in the new Silverado, and I don't think I turned on or like give a good exhaust note of the Silverado. So if the exhaust of that one is really good, let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure the exhaust of the Denali, it was so quiet. You could barely hear anything. It was like air.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a truck. Make some noise. You're a V8. Make me happy.
Yeah.
Whereas Ford, every single time I get in one, they're loud and obnoxious. But I like that. It's a V8. You want to hear some noise.
But what I do like about the newer trucks and even this truck is you don't have a whole lot of highway noise.
Oh yeah.
It's very quiet on the inside. You don't hear a whole lot of the racket that's going on when you're driving, the wind or the rumbles or the cars that are near you. You really like kind of in the solace of just your own vehicle.
I love this thing. One thing that people are always worried about, like, oh, I like lots of noise. I like hearing all that. After, like, my friend has a Mini and we take off the top down and he has the exhaust turned off, I like hearing that, but after like 6 hours, I get sick of it.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. You can only deal with so much. It's
like you don't think how annoying it can be because of these vehicles being made to block all that out. You don't realize there's an outside world out there and it's noisy.
Yeah, it's different having a quarter-mile car.
Oh yeah.
Where you've got 13 seconds of hearing wide open.
Oh yeah.
Versus you had a 6-hour drive to Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh yeah.
You're wide open. What would you rather have?
Exactly.
Personally, I take the quarter-mile of loud noise and the 6 hours of peace and quiet.
Yeah, me too. It's very relaxing. My car, one thing I really like about it can either be it's really quiet, but when you want some noise, it gives you a little bit of noise. That's what I love about it. Yeah. This thing does the same thing.
Absolutely.
That's why I wish more vehicles were like this. They're either too quiet and they make no noise, or they're... I love that noise.
Oh, yeah.
They're either too quiet, or they're too loud, or it's just no balance, you know what I mean?
Yep.
The old Jaguar F-Type, Jeremy Clarkson said that it was just too loud. It wouldn't shut up. Now, I've never driven one, so I can't really give an accurate opinion, but judging by his opinion, I'm guessing it's a very loud car that, you know, you can't turn off the exhaust.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of sport cars, they have different modes. That way, if you want no noise, you can have it really quiet. Like Lamborghinis, you can put in like street mode and it's as quiet as can be. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You have a V12 behind you that's could easily wake up your neighbors in 2 seconds. You can make it as quiet as possible.
Yep.
I love that. And I love how the new Mustangs, I think the Camaro has that as well, I'm not exactly sure, has this little stealth mode, which is the same thing. It shuts off the exhaust, that way you can wait. That way if you are getting up early in the morning, you have work, and you don't want to wake up your neighbors, you can just turn it on without having it being all crazy. I like that.
Yep.
Thank you so